And so the Bucs with an opportunity to run the clock out, and that's what they're trying to do right now. As that third down play to Davante Adams fell incomplete, and Aaron Rodgers forced to watch his defense try to get a stand. They did have all three timeouts and a shot to utilize the 2-minute warning, but a late pass interference penalty giving the Bucs a fresh set of downs. 2nd and 7 as it stands. Now we're in a booth review as we welcome you inside our NFL Network newsroom from Los Angeles. I am Brett Lewis. That is the Super Bowl champion David Carr, and this is NFL Game Day Highlights, presented by the Super Bowl halftime show and Pepsi. So now we are waiting here. The Bucs, after the booth review, are going to have, I believe, a 1st and 5 here. And I think at this point, the math doesn't quite add up, David, for the Green Bay Packers. But what they will look back on in this game, a series of missed opportunities, starting with back-to-back-to-back interceptions thrown to end drives by Tom Brady.
It's just crazy, right? You saw the clip of Aaron begging his defense to stop him. You got to get me a stop. And not only did they get him one, but like you laid out, they got 3 and got the football back. And then what was just mind-boggling to me is we talked about this at halftime, and I know LaFleur wasn't listening because he went right to the shotgun and started dropping back and trying to put, Aaron Rodgers in position where, yes, he can make incredible plays. But every time you got the ball back on a short field or a turnover and you had an opportunity, you just go shotgun and you let the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whose strength is that pass rush, just come and collapse the pocket. So they ended up not having anything happen. The one time they go down and get points right there at the end, their first play was a run. They picked up 8 yards. And you're like, okay, that's what you want to do. Then they hit the seam to Valdez-Scantling and you get something going. But man, just so many opportunities for them, so many chances. I can't think of another time. I mean, think about this. Brady throws 3 interceptions, then he has the spike, and he throws away on 3rd down. They end up settling for a field goal. Can you imagine? I mean, any other quarterback doing that in that scenario and thinking that you're still going to win that game? And that's just, he's very fortunate. He's very talented, but he's also very fortunate that did not go the other way and that the Green Bay Packers weren't able to capitalize.
So 3rd and 5 coming, and it looks like they'll be able to, once they run that play, I'll have to do something on 4th down. But, it was an incredible swing to start the second half, right? So the Bucs go into the half up 28-10 or 21-10, okay? And then they come out of the half and Aaron Jones fumbles the ball on the Packers' first possession, and the Bucs capitalize, and all of a sudden it's 28-10. You're like, okay, here we go. But man, do the Packers have a couple of answers there, and then it just kind of went cold, as you mentioned. But there were 21 points scored off the turnovers in this game until the Packers could not convert on those 2 interceptions from Tom Brady. And then they get in, to the late 4th quarter here where they're going down 8 at this point here, David, and they go in. They got 3 shots from inside the 10. What did you think of that sequence?
Well, you have everything you want. You have a chance right there, but it's hard because it's tighter down there. The windows are tighter. Things have to happen, and they went back to the well on a play that they actually ran earlier in the game, where Davante was able to catch the football, but he was out of bounds. They ran the same play, on 3rd down, but then Tampa Bay covered it up. And they were able to cover it, and Aaron didn't have anywhere to go. He stepped up and possibly could have ran on that 3rd down play. But I was fully expecting them. I don't know how you felt. I think I have a feeling of how you felt, but I would have probably went for it in that situation because, you mentioned it. What does 3 do for you right there? It doesn't get you within 3, so it's not like a field goal is going to get you either tied or the lead in this game. So that was something that was really confusing to me, why they didn't go for it right there.
No, I'm with you on that. And then that also goes back to the dropped 2-point conversion following their touchdown to Davante Adams. Before that, the drop by Equanimeous St. Brown would have made it a 6-point game. Then you could kick the field goal. Then you're only down 3. But at that point, to kick it down 8 and still be down 5, what did you ultimately accomplish there? Because even if you don't get it, the field position is huge, right? You're putting them all the way back at the 10. So it's tough, but I believe.
I'm with you. I think Matt LaFleur is going to, when he looks at this game, as good a coach as he is, and as many games as he's won in his first 2 years, there's just situational things that, where I used to sit in meetings, and we've talked about this, and I've talked about this in the shows before. I'd sit in there on Fridays with Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning, and we would go over situational football for an hour every Friday. And all of these situations came up, and no matter how good you are calling X's and O's and how good these young play callers are, and they are phenomenal, and there's some good ones out there, this is where you win and lose football games. These are the situations, and you get back to the roots of how you should play football down 4 points, down 5 points. Do you just go into a 2-minute drive? No, you can't do that. You got to stay within yourself, do what you've always done, and man, it's just he's got some learning to do for sure.